As dawn broke, I sat trembling on the floor, the amulet clutched tightly in my hands. The prince's words echoed in my mind, and I realized the elder had been right. The truth wasn't just dangerous, it was deadly. And now, I had no choice but to face it. I stood, the weight of the amulet heavy around my neck. The house was eerily quiet, the shadows no longer creeping but lying dormant, as if they were waiting. My father appeared in the doorway, his face pale and drawn. "You can't do this alone," he said, his voice trembling. "I have to," I replied, my voice firmer than I felt. "If I don't, he'll never stop." The elder's words replayed in my mind, "The curse he carries binds him to you. Running will only make him stronger." Clutching the amulet, I closed my eyes and whispered the words I had come up with. "Show me the truth." The room around me blurred, the air growing cold. When I opened my eyes, I was no longer in my home. I stood in the shadow world. The ground was a shifting mass of blackness, the sky an oppressive shade of red. The whispers were louder here, wrapping around me like a suffocating fog. Ahead, the prince stood, his figure more solid than ever, the shadows calling around him like living creatures. "You came," he said, his voice a mix of anger and something else, something that almost sounded like sorrow. "I need answers," I said, stepping closer, though my knees threatened to give way. "Why me? What is this curse?" He laughed, a bitter, hollow sound. "You think you can handle the truth? You don't even know what you've stepped into." "Then show me," I challenged, lifting the amulet. Its glow pierced the shadows, and for the first time, the prince flinched. The shadows around him roared in protest, surging toward me, but the amulet's light held them at bay. The world around us began to shift, scenes flashing before my eyes like fragments of a broken mirror. I saw him as a young prince, full of hope and ambition. I saw his betrayal, trusted allies turning against him, a lover's face twisted in deceit. The curse wasn't just his punishment, it was his vengeance, a darkness he had willingly embraced to destroy those who had wronged him. But there was more. The curse was tied to me, to my bloodline. The amulet had been crafted by one of my ancestors, the same one who had condemned him to his shadowed existence. And now, centuries later, the curse had found its way to me. The scenes shifted again. I saw my own face, younger, smiling, unaware of the shadow that had been watching me my entire life. The prince's voice echoed through the vision, "You remind me of her." The word snapped back into focus, and the prince stood before me, his face etched with pain. "You see now," he said, his voice softer. "This isn't just about me. It's about you. Your family cursed me, and now, you're the one who can break it." "How?" I asked, my voice shaking. He hesitated, the shadows writhing around him. "You must destroy the amulet. It's the source of my torment, and yours. But if you do, the shadows will consume everything, including me." I clutched the amulet tightly, the weight of his words sinking in. Destroying it would free him, but it would unleash the shadows into the world, uncontrolled. Keeping it would trap him and the shadows here, but they would never stop haunting me. The ground beneath us trembled, the shadows growing restless. The prince looked at me, his cold eyes softening for the first time. "Choose, Amina. End this, or let it continue forever." Tears streamed down my face as I raised the amulet. "I'm sorry," I whispered. "But this has to end." I threw the amulet to the ground, smashing it with all the strength I had. The light exploded outward, blinding and fierce. The shadows screamed, their forms dissolving into nothingness. The prince stood at the center of it all, his figure fading. He looked at me one last time, his expression unreadable. "Thank you," he said softly, before disappearing into the light. When I opened my eyes, I was back in my home. The amulet was gone, and the house was bathed in the soft glow of dawn. The shadows were gone. but so was he. I sat by the window, watching the sun rise, my heart heavy with the weight of what I had done. The prince's words lingered in my mind, a haunting reminder of the cost of my choice. The world was safe, but it would never be the same. And neither would I. Sometimes, to face the darkness, you must first lose a part of yourself.